Hi, I'm welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, we've got a super exciting one for you. Well, if you've been watching the show for a while, you'll probably know that I do quite a lot of sponsorship with Rochester RC. Well, actually, do you want to see my new race buggy? Look, it's almost there. Taking it racing this Friday if all the bits arrive. Sorry, I digress. Anyway, turns out Rochester RC have only gone and done something pretty cool. They've gone and upgraded their store. Yes, they've got a new super fancy dancy store. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to jump in the car. We're going to zoom over the Dartford Bridge, go down, visit them, look at all their cool stuff that they've got, and then maybe go and play with some RC. So if you'd like to see that, stay tuned. This one is going to be epic. Let's go. So let's check out this beautiful new store, and haven't they put a lot of work into it? Ooh, look, food, kind of like that. That's right up my street. First of all, is this the Traxxas XRT Total Monster? This thing is massive. Look at my hand versus the size of the wheels. Now I have an X-Max and I really like it. Ooh, this is quite nice. Blue, metallic, my favorite. Some of the bodies on these are stunning, and a 6x6. Now obviously this is theirs, they run this one, and isn't it a bit of a monster? Obviously they do boats and planes. I must admit I do like the whole kind of body that they have here for the X-Max. Yeah, I've always wanted one of those. Now they have the Max, and believe it or not, I haven't actually seen one of these in real life, so I thought I'd pop the body on it and have a nose at it, and I was really impressed with it. I was tempted. It's like a smaller version of a Max. The whole chassis is just smaller, but it felt really chunky and very sturdy, so maybe Santa might bring me one of these for Christmas, as I'd like to take this one bashing. Then we have the TRX4M. Obviously, I've had that on the show, and I put a lot of upgrades on it. And talking about upgrades, look at this lot. Yeah, if you're looking for something for your Ye Racing selection, yeah, this is going to do it. Also, a lot of people comment that the FTX stuff, is it possible to get parts for it? Well, there's a whole bank of FTX parts for you. So, not a problem at all. This is the armor stand, if you will, and you can get your hands on all of these while you're down the shop. You don't have to just look at them in a box. You can open them up, check them out. This is another one that they run. They have a lot of second-hand stuff as well, so if you buy something and you want to sell it on, you can sell it back to the shop and then put it to something else. Yeah, this boat was super special. That wasn't plastic, believe it or not. That looked like fiberglass. Then we've got, well, that's the Fire Team, and then we've got another Centon. Is that the four-wheel drive one? Yes, it is. A lot of you have commented about me doing a review on that one. Boats, yeah. Whoa, I got lucky. I did like the Gecko one on the other side. That was a little bit special. The ones in the front are plastic. More parts around the other side, some lovely artwork that's gone up, and they've splashed out on a nice big TV. Kicking off with loads of armor parts. So the idea is if you buy from them, you can go in and get all your parts and upgrade parts. And if you break it, that they can actually fix it for you if you're not comfortable doing it yourself. And there was lots of fancy dancy parts and upgrade parts as well. And we have the Traxxas selection. Quite a few bits of bling. Yeah, you could actually spend quite a bit of money in here. And I do spot some nice strong rear blue arms for my Slash, so I think I might splash out. Loads of electronics. They've got the whole Hobby Wing collection from the Pro right down to the really good sort of entry level stuff. And I am a massive fan of Hobby Wing. Their quality is brilliant. Servos, all the way from entry level servos right up to your Savox servos and more of your racing. A bit of merch too if you feel the need. Receivers, Sanwa receivers, as well as Futaba and a load of others. So as you can see, it's a beautiful layout and the calf was really popular, and I had the cheese and ham sandwich there and it was rather tasty, so you can get yourself a sandwich as well. Now these, I like these are Kyosho GTO. Now I must admit the detail level on these bodies is absolutely stunning. Love the engine, I mean that just looks epic. I must get one of those on the show. Also they had a load of Tamiya stuff there, the CC02 and they had a TC01. They even had a C11, so I was really impressed to see that, as well as a load of other bits, the Hotshot Blockhead and a Top Force Evo. Seems to be a lot of those about at the moment, and the brand new Toyota Land Cruiser 300 that just dropped a couple of weeks ago. Also the racing trucks, highly recommend those, they are great fun. We've got a Kyosho up there, and then we've got a Mad Wagon. Now I haven't seen one of these in real life, so I had a bit of a nose at it as well. This looks very familiar. Yeah, it was on the show about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Then the Lotus, and they even had a Dark Impact, which was I was surprised to see. Loads of upgrades. They do the RPM arms, so if you like to lean on your bashers, then you've got the chance to upgrade it. Also, they had a few bodies floating around as well. They had a Beetle body and a load of bits and pieces. So they had everything from cars down to the shock oils, tons of shock oils. Must grab some of these for myself to put in my new racing buggy. And if you buy one of your RCs and you need an adapter, because there's so many standards, this is the place you can get them. So I was really chuffed. And you can make your own if you're a little bit more handy with a soldering iron. Loads of bits and pieces for your servos. And then we've got the FTX stand. Now there's quite a few. There's a Zorro, that's a Nitro Zorro. It's very similar to the electric one. So I had quite a few here. Then they had a Carnage NT. Didn't know that one, never seen that one. This, very familiar. Obviously I've just reviewed it on the show. Quite impressed. Going to be putting that up against the Zorro, which we have here. That'll be coming really soon. And it's not as black and white as you think. The difference between the two, there's pros and cons. Now this, oh, I like this. This is really nice. I must admit, I'm very tempted. It's crazy fast as well, and it's really big. It doesn't really come across on the camera just how big and chunky this thing is, and I love the red. Now, I had a quick look at this. This was very chunky, and it felt really sturdy. I've never seen one of these before either, and it kind of reminds me of the Laser Nut. Paints, obviously they had two sets of paints you got there. You had the Tamiyas as usual, and then you had the Core RC, which are a little bit cheaper, and you get a little bit more for it. I haven't actually used them myself, so can't really comment. Now, this is something that I desperately need, and that's Schumacher tyres for my new RB 6.4. Gonna need that to go racing on Friday, so I think I might pick up a few of these while I'm here. Proline, I was surprised to see these actually. There was some Proline, love these. Little Land Rover Defender rims, I did like those, they were very nice. But they had quite a few in, and some I think they're 2-stage foams and a load of other tires, whole selection for your bashers, and obviously we 1/10 road cars as well, and tools, loads of tools floating around in the store. Yeah, partial to a bit of that. Also Loctite and just about everything you need. This is the Team Associated stand and the MT8. I kind of like that. That's very nice. People rave about this. Another one I'd like to get on the show to take it bashing. Now, this is very familiar. Now, Adam in RC Action Australia, this is definitely one for him. He's a big fan of these. He's got quite a few, and I think it was his first RC he ever had, so it was really cool to see it. These are a lot of used cars that are up for sale. There's a 22 5.0, I think it is. Then you've got a Team Associated RC10 B6.4, I think it is. And then, what's that? Is that Schumacher? I'm not sure. And then a Creighton. So if you're in the market for a new RC, but you don't have the budget to get a brand new one, there's lots of secondhand ones available as well. And it's not only RC cars, they've got some cool things. They've got loads of what would you call these, working digger things. This massive crane actually moves, as well as they had a load of other bits and pieces as well. See what we've got here, a digger and a forklift truck, and then another whatever that is. But the detail, brilliant, not my cup of tea, but they had a whole range of them as well. Look at the detail on this, really impressed. And they had another one, which was a green one just off to the left there. I think, yeah, here we go. Now this, I'm not really into these, but look at the detail on this. I bet that's a load of fun out in the dirt. But you can also get yourself a coffee in the cafe as well, and sandwiches and all kinds of bits and pieces. And there was a lot of people milling around chatting. Now, they also had this. This was a drift car from one of the guys that worked there. And he was kind enough to take it out for a bit of a spin while it was quiet in the shop early in the morning. This is a serious bit of kit, and I love what he'd done with the body. It's got loads of detail, and it's got like the missing rear bumper, and then you can see all the inside of the car. It was really nice. This is quite a high-end drifter. Again, not something I'm really familiar with, but it was great fun, and blasting it around the store. So I think you can agree it's rather spiffy. Yeah, really chuffed, lovely, well worth the drive down there. And that's not all. Now, there was some lovely boats there, and I've never even tried an RC boat. So Will said, oh, let's just jump in the car, go down to the local lake and drive a few boats. So I obviously said, well, all right then, yes, let's give it a go. And yeah, it didn't disappoint. Yep. Trim. So Rochester RC runs a little track. Yeah, a track that people can just turn up to and they can drive around, and there's no kind of qualifying, no sort of racing. It's just about driving around a track and enjoying your RC. Luckily, it was on this Sunday that when I was there, so I joined in. So we jumped back in the car, headed over there, and I got to blast my car around for a little bit. One thing that really surprised me the most was just how many youngsters were there. And this is something you just don't really see when you go racing. So this is brilliant to see lots of younger people enjoying their RCs, just bashing them around. Now, granted, I probably wouldn't take anything too expensive or a body that you spend hours and hours on, but the amount of youngsters that were engaging with the RC and driving around and just having great fun is something that's brilliant to see. And hopefully this is something that we'll see more. So a massive thank you to Rochester RC for inviting me down to see the new shop and for taking me out and getting me to experience RC boats. Damn you, they're brilliant. Thanks so much. See you on the next one. Bye bye.